Welcome along to the final Tier 1 final of the year. The Sony Ericsson WTA Tour Zurich Open in the Halle Stadion here. Terrific atmosphere. The cast of We Will Rock You playing downtown rocked the crowd ahead of this final between Tatiana Golovin of France and Justine Henin, the world #1, looking for her 10th Tier 1 title today. Golovin is in her first Tier 1 final. It's new ground for the French #3 against the might and the experience of the Belgian #1. Chris Bradnam will be alongside Sam Smith to take you what through should be a terrific final. Here's Golovin with Heinz Guntart.
Well, Tatiana, did you see the show?
No, I was warming up because I'm like sweating. I didn't get to see it.
Well, they were singing, I want it all and I want it now. Is this your theme today?
Oh, that's totally my motto. I want it all now.
When you played it a couple of weeks ago, you were up a set and you were looking very good in the beginning of the second. What was missing? Maybe some self-belief?
Probably a bit self-belief, a little bit of a confidence, and you know, today's going to be a different match. It's a different day, but I'm just looking for. It's all really new to me, you know. So I'm just trying to really enjoy it.
Well, we're looking forward to this final. Thank you.
Yes, and Heinz referring to the final in Stuttgart, where she won the first set, but then just won 3 games against Henin and has never beaten.
Well, Justine, that was a tough one yesterday. Do you still feel it a little bit, or you could recoup completely?
I try to forget about that because it's it's been tough to recover, but it's been a long match. But it's okay. I'm ready to win, and I hope it's going to be a good one today.
Well, the young ones are knocking on the door, so to speak. And you played her a couple of weeks ago. What makes her tough to play? Because you played 3 sets last time.
Yeah, she's very talented, and she has nothing to lose in this kind of situation. So I'm sure one more time she's going to play very good tennis, and I'm ready for it.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yes, and 2 hours and 18 minutes it took to beat Vaidisova yesterday, but it was her 19th win in a row from the loss against Bartoli in the semi-finals of Wimbledon. Just dropped the 2 sets, both of those against this woman in your picture, Tatiana Golovin. As I say, Chris Bradham sitting alongside Sam Smith, and we're both looking forward to this one, Sam, in spite of the head-to-heads.
Well, potentially it could be an absolute cracker. You certainly feel that, you know, okay, yes, Golovin has never beaten Henin, but she's come close on a number of occasions, so it shows that she can compete at this level. And if she'd have watched any of the semi-final yesterday, Golovin, Henin, Vaidisova, I think she would realise that Henin's not really playing her best tennis here by any stretch of the imagination. I thought Henin was very up and down, and I'm not sure Henin was particularly thrilled with it either, was she?
No, she wasn't. I think we talked about it over breakfast, didn't we? The speed of the court is going to favour Golovin, perhaps. It could be the perfect surface to try to get further than just a set against the Belgian.
I think that's what everyone's found so difficult. They can play a great set against her, or even a great set and a half, but it doesn't even matter. As we see Tatiana's mother there, it doesn't even matter if you're almost a set and 4-3, set and 5-3. Henin can just come out with great tennis at any stage and just turn a match in a couple of games.
As she did yesterday. I mean, she was mishitting the ball, framing quite a few.
But we do feel the court is maybe a little too pacey for Henin. That seems strange to see, because you almost think of her as a fast court player, but it also, the players are saying that the court's quite tacky as well, and someone that likes to slide and move as she would on clay, I don't think she's that happy either. But I think she's put it right, because apparently she was out here at 10 o'clock this morning practicing with her game face on, apparently. Tatiana kind of rocked up about 12, which is quite normal. I think we were very surprised how early Henin was out here.
Yeah, it just shows the intent as per normal.
I think it wouldn't be beyond Henin to put in a sizzling performance out here, because she just doesn't tolerate playing poorly, or particularly being up and down. She doesn't like that in her matches.
Golovin said yesterday in her press, didn't she, that she can't get into long rallies with Henin. She's not going to win that way. She's got to use power, brute strength, but it's going to be tough to be consistent with that sort of game plan.
Well, as Henin said in her interview, you know, Golovin is playing without any pressure really on her out here. She can go for her shots. It's a wonderful situation to be in, and Henin's used to players coming at her, particularly this next generation. And Havze Golovin served extremely well yesterday. 6 aces, a lot of unreturnables, just the 1 double fault. Wonder how much Henin will get into that second serve, though.
And they're the routes through. Henin beaten Zvonareva in her first match, but beat Radwanska, the lucky loser from Poland, 4-2. That tough match against Vaidisova yesterday, it really was a terrific encounter. Plenty of money to play for. and will head the all-time career prize money in a year as the increase in prize money has gone on. Surely by the end of this year, and she's already won over $4 million this year, compared to Tatiana's just under $500,000. It's been a prolific year again. 8 titles, of course, winning her 4th French, 3rd in a row, and 2nd US Open titles. But Wimbledon still elusive, as the French is for Federer. They do no worse than maybe sharing a dinner table together, those two, and discuss the merits of how to win the elusive title. But surely one of the greats in women's tennis, Justine Henin. So the final of the Sony Ericsson WTA Tour Zurich Open about to begin. Tatiana Golovin experiencing her first ever Tier 1 final up against the veteran Justine Henin, looking for her 10th Tier 1 title, having been the champion here 4 years ago, beat Dokic and got to #1 in the world for the first time after that win. So good memories. Let's hope we have a good final. Golovin to begin. Interesting start. Should have done better with the overhead, really. Only been beaten 4 times this year. Henin, Safarova in Paris indoors in February. Serena Williams in Miami in the final. Kuznetsova and Bartley, Berlin and Wimbledon, the other 2. That was close.
It was very close. Tactically, I can see Henin maybe playing quite a lot to that backhand side to expose the forehand flank. What she doesn't want is Tatiana to constantly run around that forehand, because that is a dangerous shot, that into-out forehand of Golovin. But what Henin has that Schiavone didn't have is that she's got a great backhand down the line. And so often we see with Golovin that she gets away with it. That forehand flank, that right flank, is left wide open. She's going to have to be very careful about that today.
As in all finals, you want to get off to a good start and hold your opening service game, but particularly important for Golovin here, just to settle into this huge match for her. She looks inevitably a little nervous.
Yes, even though she's been around, it seems like forever now. Really, her ranking over the last 3 years, she's been a very solid top 30 player. I think she would have been a lot higher had she not been so terribly injured and hadn't really been put under so much pressure of the expectation. But this year she's been at a different level, hasn't she, since she recovered from the other ankle injury.
Yes, she's won 46 of her 62 matches, a couple of titles.
And she's getting a lot of balls, even though this first game, right onto her backhand, balls that she can't run round onto the forehand. Chris, you talked about what a great year Enan's had. She's put together 57 wins and just the 4 losses. That's pretty similar to Steffi Graf's year in 1996, where Steffi was 54-4.
Wow.
So that's the kind of level that Enan's been at this year.
And that's a year where she's had to put the sort of breakup of her marriage behind her. That's why she missed the Australian Open at the start of the year. The ability to focus with all that going on in her private life, extraordinary. This could almost set the tone, this opening game, couldn't it, for the rest of the final? It's a big one for Golovin, this. Seen that more and more, haven't we? The return and run in from Enan.
Yes, she wants to let Golovin know that she's there on that second serve.
Another chance to win this opening game.
I think Anna must have felt yesterday against Vadasova, where I think she had break points in Vadasova's second and third service game, that she set the tone of the match there when she didn't convert them and allowed the younger player into the match. I think she's very concerned not to allow Golovin into this match today.
The approach work's got to be more dominating than that. Sat up a bit, didn't it? Stunning pass, though, to set up the break point. Well done. 18 points in this game already. A couple of break points, game points. Little mini match in itself.
Well, let's hope they don't get to 14 deuces as what happened the other day, because actually the technology can't actually cope with it. The umpire, Mariana Alves, can't actually input any more than 14 deuces in her little machine.
Quite big reactions from the misses early on. Another sign of nerves, another sign of desperate for it to happen. It's her first Tier 1 final. Can't stress that enough in terms of what she has to deal with, let alone who she faces. Well done again. Getting big cheers, big support here for Golovin. Had to retire injured in her match against Kirilenko last year, spraining her right ankle, and ironically beat Kirilenko in the first round this.
So I'm sure what's going through Golovin's mind is, like all the other players on the tour that face Anna, they know how good she is. They know what they've got to do. They've got to play beyond themselves. I mean, this woman is totally in their heads the minute they step on the court.
Tough game, 10 minutes long, but Golovin holds. Probably wishes the rule could revert. They need a sit down maybe after that opening game. Just a quick slurp and off they'll go again. Rest of her matches, she beat Ivanovic. What a great win that was, second round for Golovin. 3-1. Having lost to her comfortably in Luxembourg a couple of weeks ago, 1-2. And then Bartley had to retire with a left knee injury. We wish her well. She's still entered into Linz next week, by the way, Bartley. And then Schiavone yesterday, comfortably.
So what Anna will do the minute Tatiana moves too far around that forehand, it's going either with her forehand cross court or backhand down the line, just to make her very aware of what's going to happen if she gets a little too daring.
It's 4 doubles against Vedasova.
Well, I think she's very aware of Golovin on the return. Golovin is a player that really sees the ball early, and she has this wonderful ball strike. You can hear the sound that it makes off her racket. You can tell how centrally she strikes it.
No problem on that overhead. Again, looking for very aggressive second serves.
Do we ever see anything else from Justine? Just does not want the opponent to get that first strike in. She'd rather almost give the point away than allow the opponent to feel they have any sort of control out here.
Well played.
That's what she's worried about, Golovin getting onto those serves. Golovin's got these short, flat swings. Gives her a chance on return.
Clever short ball from Golovin. Caught and a little off balance. On a break point of her own.
Well, 3 times Golovin has drop-shotted and 3 times she's lost the point. You have to question why, really. I think it's this whole feeling that she can't live with Anand when they're trading from the back of the court.
Yeah.
Personally, I think she can.
Yeah. She's
so quick and so balanced, and she's got great strikes off both sides. Why can't she live with Anand from the back of the court? Pretty early for the first alley, isn't it?
Yes. It's an interesting point you make. I know I keep referring to Djokovic, his very honest comments about Federer. Playing the name Roger Federer is so tough. Anand has got that status too. It's a tough one to break down. Nearly 20 minutes for the first 2 games. Carlos Rodriguez on the right. He's been with Justine since she was 14. Immediate overall from the chair. Well, that'll re-emphasize the fear of trading, that point. for Golovin.
Much better timing from Anand there. I think some of the times that she's had problems with Golovin is that this in-through-out forehand that Golovin has goes to the Anand backhand. Sometimes Anand on this kind of court doesn't quite have the time almost to get her racket back to bring it forward. Then sometimes is forced to be a little more defensive with it.
Fabulous point.
30.
Cameraman can't keep up with them.
Golovin so well balanced for the pass there.
40-15.
She's settled in well, isn't she? Terrific tennis. Golovin back to the chair for the first sit down with a 2-1 lead.
2 games to 1.
In tennis, technique comes first. After that, it's all about feeling. Staying focused and alert. And being ready to react in an instant. That's what makes for great results. That's Sixth Sense technology from Whirlpool. Whirlpool, on court with the champions.
What if your entire business could learn to minimize risks? Well, off the course anyway. Because change happens. Zurich.
Whirlpool, on court with the champions.
And then 1-2, first set.
Love.
Well, that's what she's looking to do, and then create some space against Golovin.
15-30.
Call from the chair again on the same line. Mariana Alves of Portugal presiding.
She's constantly having to overrun the line. She has to change the lines, judge.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, because it's not really fair on the players.
Two more break points. That was brutal.
30-30.
The big points against Schiavone yesterday towards the end of the match. She just took a bit of pace out, Golovin. She gets a chance here. She can ill afford that again. First break of the match. Mum's delighted. Goes to Golovin.
Golovin leads 3 games to 2.
Well, Anne, to me, still has the look of how she was yesterday. Yes, she's playing some great tennis at times, but she's also making a lot of unforced errors as well, going for so much. So you can't really call them unforced errors. They're more forced errors, aren't they? She's looking to do something with the ball.
Good play. She's not afraid to really take it to Anand so far. You need to be fearless. That's for sure.
She won't like that, feeling like she's got to almost slice and defend with that backhand side.
We've talked about Golovin's footwork a lot, haven't we? You can really hear it today, the little steps squeaking on the hard court. It certainly calls for concern for the Anand camp at the moment. Nice. Just played within herself. And in control of herself totally.
4-12.
Yes, not just power and the early strike from Golovin, but accuracy as well.
Bright blue nail varnish. She loves the colours, doesn't she?
Girl after your own heart, isn't it?
Most comfortable game of the final so far. Backs up the break emphatically. Takes a 4-1 lead back to the chair.
What if your entire business could learn to minimize risks? Well, off the course anyway, because change happens. Zurich.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to land.
Within the miles,
Please return to your seat and make sure your carry-on bags are stored in the overhead
between us, away with the sea.
Air France.
Work to do here for Anand. 1-4 down first set. Again, a miss-hit shot, really. She's done that a lot this week.
Problem is her game is so big, and actually her shots are quite risky, that when her timing's off, she just can't control the ball.
First ace, serve 2 against Vedisova. These semi-finals.
He once again forced to open up the racket face and chip. Can't control the points when she has to slice off that side. Oh, Golovin should have been in, shouldn't she? As soon as she sees in and on the stretch, has to close down the space.
Super volley to win the game. Lovely step in.
Golovin leads 4 games to 2.
And another alley to follow. Heinz Gunther talked about self-belief and confidence for Golovin, having won a set in Stuttgart a couple of weeks ago and then sort of falling away. Get another examination today, won't it? Whether she's grown from that match. Much better overhead than the one in the first game.
Yes, I think the key for Golovin is to say that she can't back off in this match at any stage. If she's got a lead, if she's trying to close out a set, she has to keep being aggressive and dictating play. That's very difficult to do when you start to feel the pressure and you start to understand the enormity of what you're doing out here.
That is just brilliant from the world number one. That would put the frighteners on anybody.
Well, once again, Golovin giving Anand another bite at the cherry. She got the shot she wanted, and she just stepped back rather than take it on the fly.
Bit of luck always helps. 2 break-back points. Only needs the one. Back on serve in this opening set. Anand, 3-4.
Delta Airlines offers over 230 transatlantic destinations and a place of your own.
New balls, 3-4 first set.
Loved him.
Rather strangely there, and on his feet, not quite in the position to really swing and strike the ball.
It's not often you see her hang her head either.
No.
She was giving Rodriguez a hard time in the first set against Vaidisova yesterday before recovering. It's just all part of the insistence of making it happen, getting it right.
She wants perfection, doesn't she? Doesn't just want to win here, she wants to win playing her best tennis. And she'll be pleased being down that end, Justine, because she's only about, what, 10-15 metres from eye contact from Carlos. And she's looking at him a lot at the moment, almost before every point.
Yeah, she says that he's asked her not to do it as much, but she said, how can you change the habit of a lifetime?
And although we haven't seen Anand really compromised so far in this set at the moment, just occasionally she's playing a few more balls a little more centrally, right down the centre of the court at Golovin, not giving her opponent the angle.
Well, there was so much space. Even the fastest sprinter in the world wouldn't have gone the in-to-out way. It's still a stunning finish.
4 games.
Three games in a row. Big game now again for Golovin.
Still not finding these serves particularly easy to cope with. That's something we talked about yesterday. They're hard and flat, but they're also very close to that service line. It's very difficult to pick them up.
Out. 15.
Change of racket, maybe. Important she guides that frustration to a good first serve here. Getting a little rattled. It's the last thing you want to show Anand unless it makes you play better. 2 more break points. Didn't really make Enan work to get the break there. She'll be delighted to have won her 4th game in a row. She'll now serve for the opening set.
In tennis, technique comes first. After that, it's all about feeling. Staying focused and alert. And being ready to react in an instant. That's what makes for great results. That's Sixth Sense technology from Whirlpool. Whirlpool, on court with the champions.
Allianz offers financial solutions for life's important moments. Maybe it's the moment you plan your future together. When you want your investments to work as hard as you do. Or when you plan to make retirement the best part of your life. Since 1890, we've supported people through life's moments. Whatever your moment, Allianz gives you the confidence you need. Financial solutions from A to Z. Allianz.
Whirlpool, on court with the champions.
Bit of pit work for Tatiana Golovin, maybe a blister on the heel. Called for the trainers straight away at the end of that last game, having been broken. Of course, Enan will have to sit patiently, waiting to get up to serve for the opening set. Should it be looked at the end of the set? Should it be done before Tatiana serves? You'll have your views at home on what is right or fair. Your views, Sam?
Well, I think they've been pretty clear over the years. At worst case scenario, an end of set, other than an emergency in which the umpire will call the trainer and the match is pretty much over, or have an experiment where you have no trainers at all for 3 or 4 months. You're not allowed to do this at all.
So there's lots to play for. 5 spaces are taken for Madrid, the end of season championships. The top 8 qualify. Let's have a look at the standings at present. It looks as though Jack Fadadze has added to the list. She's in the same colour as everybody else. So 6 are through. Venus Williams, Sharapova and Huntikova. 7th, 8th and 9th respectively. Golovin is a way back, but on the entry world rankings, which is the rollover, she's guaranteed with her efforts this week to be 13 in the world Golovin. She could be as high as number 11, and there's no doubt her race situation will improve, but I still think Madrid is a pretty tall order. She's playing Linz next week.
Well, looking at those numbers on the right-hand side there, I'd say Venus is fairly safe, and also Sharapova. 400 points is an awful lot to really make up. Of course, Sharapova injured, probably won't play now before Madrid if she's even fit for Madrid. So that could be, a couple of players could jump in there.
It's 50 race points to win a Tier 2. I'm not absolutely sure what the points are for a Tier 1, but it is a tall order for Golovin. But it will be a career high for her come tomorrow, irrespective of the result here. 13 or 11. Her previous high was 16 in May this year. She'll be the French number 2 as well, behind Bartley. Mauresmo pushed back to number 3. And Anne thinking, well, I might as well take some treatment of sorts as well. Spoke to the trainer during one of her matches this week without a full time out for anything. So Golovin's medical timeout at its end. 49 minutes. Enan from 1-4 down, 4 games in a row, will serve for the opening set at 5-4.
I doubt that Enan would have been thrilled about that medical timeout that Golovin's just taken. It's the worst time really serving for a set, or just before you've got to serve anyway. And particularly as Enan was getting on some sort of a roll and Golovin's game was falling apart. I don't get the feeling that Golovin is really backing herself out here. There's been a few times when she was in control of points that she hasn't closed down the net, hasn't put in the killer strike, just allowed her then back into the point.
Good look at the line from Golovin, no complaint. Second ace. Great length. And width.
Took a little off there to Justine, just to make sure. I think she's realised. I don't think she really wants to make totally hard work of this final as she did the semi-final yesterday, despite how well she wants to play.
Set point. That's a great reaction. Probably thought the set was over. The ball was going in the net.
I'm seeing a lot of compromise out here. I think from Henin, she's taking the view, let's just get this job done.
Struggled a lot with the first serve percentage yesterday, under 40%. Was slightly over 50%, but still nowhere near her best. Second set point. That'll do it. 5 games in a row. First set to the world number 1. It's going to be tough for Golovin to come back from that.
The boy from Basel. Back in his own backyard. Anybody fancy their chances? ATP Tennis from Basel. Tuesday afternoon at 3, live on British Eurosport.
Complete Premiership and European football coverage of all the matches with live comments and scoring. Don't miss the new football season at eurosport.yahoo.co.uk.
Switzerland has much more to offer than beautiful scenery.
Wanted two adventure fanatics to drive for Team Travel Channel in the Budapest to Bamako Rally, taking place in January 2008. What's more, you'll star in our new series about the rally that tests your nerve from the heart of Europe to sub-Saharan Africa. We'll supply the car, you supply the courage. Just grab a camera and show us in the most imaginative way why you're right for the trip. Visit our website for details and your chance to become part of the next Budapest to Bamako Rally, coming soon to Travel Channel.
Whirlpool on court with the champions.
Big hand for both women as they came out to start this second set. Got to stop the rot here, Golovin. 4-1 up. It looks so good. Hasn't won a game since. On the line. And Enan is starting to motor. Signs are not good. 3 more break points. Six games in a row now.
First game, 7 sets.
What do you make of the stats, Sam?
Well, I think many of those unforced errors from Enan came at the beginning of the match, and the ones from Golovin came at the end of the set. And I thought Golovin played, very well to about 4-1, 4-2, and that did fall away at the end of that set, didn't she? Yeah. And I think we're going to get a very commercial set of tennis now from Enan. I think she senses a lot of weakness over the other side of the court, and I think she'll be going after it.
When the slide had started, it was 4-3 from 4-1. Golovin had love 30 on the Enan serve. There's lots of sort of mental baggage there, isn't it, to try to dismiss. And that will not help Enan's first bit of luck this set.
And very much when she plays her tennis, and we've seen it, it's helped her improve. She does come out like a cricketer who wants to hit sixes off every single ball.
Yes.
And I think now she's just happy to hit ones and twos and just settle herself in. And then maybe towards the end, if she's in control, she might let fly. Her timing is definitely not there this week. It's been very in and out, and I feel she's really struggling. I don't know whether she's played all the great matches she's going to play this year, or there's one eye on Madrid.
Yeah.
If she wants to peak, of course, Madrid, she'll have to with the cast of names that are there.
Amazing thing is, you have to afford her so much respect. It's her 13th tournament. She's won 8, Henin, already. But Madrid is secure. The majors are over, and yet here she is saying absolutely ready to give it absolutely everything. She only knows that way, and that's one of the many reasons why she's number 1.
Yes, you feel whatever happens from now, she's had a great year. Not quite as great as the year that Margaret Court had in 1970, where Margaret Court won 21 titles.
Yeah, that is staggering.
How can you win 21 titles in 1 year? I think in recent history, I think the nearest great year has been Hingis, who won 12 titles in 1997. That was some year as well. I think 3 slams in there.
It's the year she lost to Maioli in the French final, wasn't it? Otherwise, she'd have completed the set. Although, if she'd won the French, who knows whether she would have won Wimbledon or the US, but...
Strange sort of shot from Henin.
Yeah.
She wasn't quite sure what to do with it.
Big point this, the crowd trying to help Golovin along. Got to get something going here if she can, before it's too late. Does break back. First game in the last 7 played. She must have held her breath a while when she went back to Henin again, but... that is a potential lifeline for Golovin.
It is. Even on this last couple of shots here, you still feel she lacked conviction. Still give Henin a hit at it.
Well, they've all climbed over this week. They continue to do so. That time the ball almost developed legs. It's her first double, isn't it? And he served the 1 against Schiavone in the semis. That short cross-court forehand is devastating, isn't it?
Yep. And if you look where it actually bounces, I think it took its first bounce from the sideboarding. So had Golovin got anywhere near it, her court position would have been absolutely terrible. Just before the side hoardings.
15-14.
Hasn't finished well today, has she? I'm sure that has to do with the speed of Anand on the other end, and she just hesitates ever so slightly. And that causes her to steer on that forehand rather than really hit through it.
Break points. Into out forehand to the backhand is still producing good results, though. She could only find it more. Golovin absolutely convinced the return was out. But no salvage operation from Alves of Portugal in the chair. Anand breaks, set and 2-1 now.
Sometimes we forget that life is full of little surprises. But at Dubai Duty Free, we never do. Dubai Duty Free, full of surprises.
In tennis, technique comes first. After that, it's all about feeling. Staying focused and alert. And being ready to react in an instant. That's what makes for great results. That's Sixth Sense technology from Whirlpool. Whirlpool, on court with the champions.
Three breaks in a row at the start of the second set.
15.
And then once again, looking like the boss out here, as she so often does. Six breaks to serve in the last 7 games played. 5, rather, out of the last 7. Didn't doubt that for a second.
No, she looks so good when she's striking like that, when she gets her feet inside the court.
15.
Good combination hitting from Golovin. Yeah, I think the problem with all those breaks is 4 out of the 5 have been Golovin, so she's absolutely reliant now on breaking all the time, because she's certainly not holding.
Beautiful manipulation of the wrist for an awkward volley. Doesn't get much better than that.
30. $40.
174 Ks that serve. She stands 5'5" 3/4, 1m67. That was some serve. When she looks at Rodriguez, It's just a nodding head that she sees. Always the positive nod. And Anne extends the lead. They're all must-win service games from here, aren't they, for Golovin?
Oh, absolutely. And then, though, it's all very controlled now, isn't it? Not looking for spectacular shots, not hitting that many winners. Just making sure that she's controlling the points, and Golovin's giving her quite a few freebies as well.
Ooh, that looked wide. No call. Golovin can't believe it again. We've said all week there's no challenge system here, but this time... Oh, I thought Mariana Alves had overruled, but she got the score wrong. It is love 15. She did say 15, love, didn't she?
No, it's love 15. The ball was in. She didn't overrule.
No, it's love 15. She corrected the score. We'll see. I think that's love 30. Yeah. She just said the score wrong the first time. Maybe it's not her way, but if Golovin genuinely felt that was out, why not actually stand there and talk about it being out a little bit longer? She was very accepting of it in the end.
It's not going to change it, though, is it?
No, but just to, I don't know, get the heckles raised. Make the point. Because Enan at the moment has got all the answers.
Yeah, she's flying. She senses all the weakness down the other end of the court. Just making all the right moves now. And it's Golovin doing all the running as well.
3 break points.
15.
Good serve. Really went for that one into the corner. It's got to be bold and gutsy right here from Golovin. Maybe being this far down will help her.
I haven't seen one of those kind of loose shots from Enan in a while. And that's where she's been brilliant. She's at from about 4-3, 4-all in that first set. She's really got a reign over her game. Tried not to give too much away.
Well, this is uncharacteristic from Enan.
And it's strange, isn't it? The minute she tries to hit and go for it, rather than just playing a little more safely and opening up the court, then she starts to have problems.
Well done. 5 points in a row. Got a little help with the let cord and a lot of help from Enan in that game, but hangs in. Set and 3-2.
Airlines offers over 230 transatlantic destinations and a place of your own.
Set and 3-2, Anand. Very close to being a set and 4-1. That's a big second serve, as Sam was discussing on the break. At 15:40, could really make a sea change here.
Over 5 now, Golovin, with the drop shot. I feel like putting a sign up in the commentary box.
You could understand it because she'd forced her back. She did so well to hang in the point and so on, but the execution just hasn't been there.
No, I think you could say that about Golovin's game, really, apart from the first, 3 or 4 games, 5 games, maybe her execution on key points has not been there, not been at the level that she needed to be against someone like Anand.
Side that up to perfection. Read it well too, didn't she? And then holds. Get a little lull for the new balls. I think that's the equivalent of take a chill pill, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the support camp for Golovin.
I think she has promised a lot at the early part of this match. I think she's under-delivered. I know she's playing the best player in the world, but I think the best player in the world is struggling out here. Not really, hasn't really found her game. It's sort of been a bit in and out for her. I don't think she's terrifically happy about the performance. It's all about getting the win now.
New balls, 2-4, second set. The other thing for Henin as well, she's reached the stage in her career where it's all about the majors each year. 4 tournaments where she's looking to play her best tennis to add to the tally, and particularly to try to win Wimbledon for the first time. So, you know, mentally the goalposts have moved, haven't they? Federer's talked about the same. You know, he lost to Kanyas a couple of times in America in the spring. But didn't put too much importance on it because, you know, can't keep winning all the time and only having 3 or 4 losses a year. It's about peaking at the majors.
I'm sure Henin will go back after here. She's got a couple of weeks to fine-tune her game before Madrid, and that'll be the last little peak that she'll manage to the end of the year. Her scheduling, though, has been Federer-like. It's been perfect, hasn't it? Yep. Never plays more than 2 weeks in a row, 2 tournaments in a row.
Yep.
Has looked energised and ready for every single event, from really the first ball to the last ball.
We know she can do the splits. We saw her do it in practice during the week. Keeps the final alive by holding Golovin. Henin is set in 4-3.
Suzuki, way of life.
Delta Airlines offers over 230 transatlantic destinations and a place of your own.
Two service games away from yet another title. Set in 4-3 for Henin. Would be her 38th career title. Her 10th Tier 1. Oh, what a pickup. Applauded by Golovin.
Well, when she ran there, she had her racket absolutely ready for the shot. I don't think we're going to see it, but so all she had to do was just nudge it forward, and that just tells you the value of getting to the shot with your racket already prepared. This is good from Henin because, as we've seen historically, she isn't the best closer in the business. She's not the worst, but she's not in the sort of league of probably Serena and Venus Williams or Lindsay Davenport.
Still hasn't been a love service game in the match. But a comfortable game.
In the leagues, 5 games to play.
The crowd would love to see Golovin make Henin serve for the match and the title. Set and 3-5 down.
That's another approach Golovin gets away with. She just has this habit of steering it down there with the forehand. There's so much air on that.
15.
And it'll be little things like that if she wants to be a top 10 player, which I'm sure she will be in the next 12 months, that she'll have to change or have to improve upon. It's just tiny parts of her game now.
Well, there is the first love game of the match, and does make Henin serve for the title. She'll attempt that after this break.
The Hybrid Minute, presented by Toyota Hybrid Synergy Drive. A vehicle with this logo is a combination of highly advanced technology. The ignition is powered by an electric motor coupled to a battery. When cruising, the system combines both petrol engine and electric motor. The battery is recharged using the energy usually wasted during deceleration and braking. Among its 4 benefits, let's focus on clean air. We love speeding down a beautiful country road, don't we? For Prius, at low speed, the engine is cut off and only the electric motor is activated. As a result, CO2 and NOx are controlled. Prius has cleared the strict regulations in Europe not only for CO2, but also for NOx. These 4 benefits have appealed to 1 million Toyota hybrid drivers, leading to the reduction of CO2 emissions by 3.5 million tonnes in 10 years. What will your reason be?
Henan serving for her second title here. A set and 5-4.
15.
Well, it's not her favourite serve, that T-serve in the right court, but she's hit it well. She's spotted it almost every time today. She's gone after it.
Not surprising. The first serve nearly hit the baseline.
No, she does get nervous too.
Bad luck.
Well, she'll be quite glad that Golovin missed that, because right down Anand's end, all the presentation party are getting ready and the on-court announcers, and she can see that. Very hard to concentrate.
Two championship points. Only needs the one. Fifth ace to finish. Second title here in Zurich for Henan. Her 10th Tier 1. The 9th title of the year. Her 38th in what is a glittering career. It's been a fantastic tournament for Golovin that'll see her to a new career high. But the number one, okay, not at her very best through the tournament, but the scary thing is, good enough to win the title. Congratulations, Justine Henan, Zurich Open champion 2007.
Yeah, it was very much a labour of love there for Henan. I think she has struggled all week. Just shows you how good she is, that she can win a Tier 1 event not playing her best tennis. For Golovin, I think she did promise a lot and did undeliver. And if only she would believe just how good she is, then she too can be winning Tier 1 events, which I think she will do pretty soon.
A smile for yet another winning feeling. Well, that's it from Zurich. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We'll be in Linz next week, the Generali ladies, starting on Wednesday on Eurosport. Chakvadadze heads the cast, the top seed in Linz, with Hantukova, the second seed from Slovakia. Golovin will make her way there as well, looking for yet more points. And we'll also be there at 2 o'clock Central European time, 1 o'clock in the UK on Eurosport International, starting Wednesday. Thanks for your company this week from Joe Jury, Matt Chilton, Sam Smith and me, Chris Bradnam. Bye for now.